o'clock. Fish bed, 12 o'clock low. SU-24, 3 o'clock low. And S-280.
Fox 2.
So we've received intelligence that the Piranis are making a large push to engage and sink the American aircraft carrier CVN-73, the USS George Washington. And they're hoping in doing this, or at least damaging the George Washington, they can force the Americans out of the war because they believe the Americans are so casualty adverse that there's no way that sinking an aircraft carrier is going to continue American involvement in the war. And so because of that, our two aircraft carriers, the RDNS Suez as well as CVN-73, is put on high alert. So this morning as the sun rises, our two BARCAP flights are going to take off right away. You guys in BARCAP flights from the George Washington, you guys are spawning on the catapults hot or in your parking spots hot. So that way you guys can just get off the deck quickly. You're going to fly to your BARCAP stations, and you're going to fly your BARCAP until you're released from that BARCAP station from a GCI controller. You are not cleared to leave that BARCAP station unless you have explicit permission from a GCI. And that is because you have two jobs: to protect the tankers and to be the first line of defense for the ships themselves. The tankers are going to be in tanker track 1, 2, and 3. And these are also Marshall points 1, 2, and 3, where GCI is going to send any interceptors, if they're required to launch from the decks, to hit those points, form up in their formations, and then be vectored to attack any bombers or any attack aircraft that come after the two ships. The two aircraft carriers, that is. There's multiple ships. So you'll be sent to either tanker track or Marshall Point 1, 2, or 3, respectively, based off of what the GCIs want you to do. And that's basically about it. This is just all in contingency. Maybe we'll be attacked, maybe we won't. However, we do know that the anti-ship missiles that are carried by the Pirani Badgers, if they hit this red line that runs across the map just south of Beirut, they will fire their anti-ship missiles at the aircraft carriers. They're going to be, if they do fire, they're going to be firing a whole bunch of them, and it'll probably oversaturate the sea whiz of the aircraft carriers and their escorts. So we definitely don't want that to happen. If we do have any Vampire launches, they, of course, can be shot down by missiles fired from fighters. However, if you're chasing a Vampire and you get really, really close to a friendly ship, do not be surprised if you get engaged by Sea Whiz as well. So just be very careful of that. If you see just a huge plume of SAMs coming out of a friendly aircraft carrier or escorting ship, just dive for the deck and run away is basically my only advice I can give you from my testing. So that's more or less it. The BARCAP jets, you just got to fly to your BARCAP stations and make sure that you stay in those stations until you're released. The tankers themselves have some new triggers set up that Oreo helped me figure out and realized I could do it. Is if the tankers have enemy aircraft within 30 nautical miles of them, they're going to run for the SAM envelope of the escort ships, and then they're going to turn and run for home and land. So that's why it's important for those BARCAP flights to stay where they are, to be a barrier between any enemy aircraft and the tankers themselves. We have a no engagement zone over the territorial waters and airspace of Cyprus. We do not want to piss off the British as well as the neutral nation of Cyprus by having Badgers or Fencers or any other MiGs falling in flames onto their land and potentially hurting any civilians down there below. So you are not cleared to engage any enemy aircraft over Cyprus. So just to be clear on that. It's a pretty simple mission when it comes to be briefing wise. The more complex stuff is with the GCIs. Any questions or concerns here from you guys?
What's the zoning looking like with the GCIs, and
who's triggering the intercepts from us, etc.
The GCIs are going to be working together to provide full coverage over the battlefield. So you can receive orders from either a E2 GCI or an E3 GCI. It doesn't matter. They're going to be coordinating the entire time.
For intents and purposes, we're going to be functioning as a single agency.
Okay. So one channel. All right. So one channel, is that right?
Yep, that's going to be channel 305 for the strike frequency. When it comes to your intra-flight frequencies, that's going to be on the roll call page of your knee boards. Situation overview has already been stated, so we didn't waste any ink on printing that out for you guys. Keep in mind that you can hit right shift and K on your knee board and use your bracket keys to actually see these knee boards in mission. So your intra-flight frequency is going to be, like, say for Formosa 1-1 flight, you're going to be 264.0. And you can see you're a bar cap mission and you're part of the U.S. Navy on the right there. So, and you can see all of that going all the way down here. Rules of engagement: visual or IFF ID as hostile required. Weapons are free. Do not engage enemy aircraft over Cyprus. Red air threats, kind of the usual. We got Mirage F1s, MiG-21s, MiG-23s, MiG-29s, and MiG-25s out there that are going to be the biggest threats to you guys in the air. The Pirani Air Force, remember, does utilize the Tu-16 Badger as a strategic bomber. And so if there are any threats to the aircraft carriers, those will come in the form of Badgers. The IADS threats is not really applicable today because we're going to be pretty far outside of the IADS threat rings of the red side. However, if you do stray over Pirani airspace, you may take a SAM fired at you. So just be careful of that. Departure ATC agency. So this is really important, guys. We want to make sure we're reducing any confusion here. If you are on an airfield, you want to make sure that when you start up, you tune your frequency on your radio 1 to the mission comms flow plan. So that's going to be, that's going to be your ATC agency first. Then when you take off, that you're going to change over to the strike frequency, then over to a tanker frequency if you need to get some fuel, and then back to a recovery agency once you're coming to land. Your COM 2 is going to be your intra-flight frequency that we just saw on the roll call page. So ensure that when you start up, you're actually going to be talking on the correct frequency for your ATC agency. If you do not have an ATC controller, just treat your airfield or your aircraft carrier as an uncontrolled field, and just make sure you're communicating with each other so that way nobody runs into each other and you aren't going to cause an issue. This is especially important on the aircraft carriers because it's so close quarters. We don't want anyone just taxiing around without communicating to anybody else. If we can have some sort of ATC on the George Washington or the Suez, that would be great. But otherwise, basically, we're just going to have guys controlling everybody on the strike frequency. The kind of a custom knee board here, we don't really have all that much information needed, so I didn't make a whole bunch of knee board cards. But basically, we've got the two recovery tankers are S3Bs at 5,000 feet over the George Washington and Suez, respectively. As well as we have navigation here for the bar cap flights. Your waypoint 1 is going to be the first point in your bar cap station. Waypoint 2 is the second point in your bar cap station. So you guys are basically going to be flying a racetrack between waypoint 1 and 2, and back to waypoint 1, back to waypoint 2, and so on and so forth until you're released from that station by a GCI controller. Your waypoint 3, 4, and 5 are going to be the 3 respective marshal points and tanker tracks. Waypoint 6 will be your home plate. For intercept, all you guys have for waypoints is going to be waypoint 1, 2, and 3 for your marshal points / tanker tracks, as well as a home plate waypoint as well. The launch order is going to be bar cap, followed by any FA-18 interceptors, followed by any F-14 interceptors, and followed by any land-based interceptors. So the interceptors, you can be as lazy as you want taking off from the carrier because it is going to be a little bit of a wait when it comes to the actual things starting to happen trigger-wise once the bar cap flights get into their respective cap stations. If the bar cap flights don't get into the cap stations, the mission will not go forward. So it's important for the bar cap flights to get off the deck and start flying to where you need to go.
Question?
Yeah, go for it.
Which intercept flight is going to which marshal flight?
That's going to be determined by GCI depending upon where they think that holes need to be plugged.
Okay. And do you want to set some sort of delay for us, or do we just depart whenever we can for the intercept flight?
Just depart whenever you can, but just know that it's going to be a little bit of a wait. So if you get to a tanker before things are starting to happen, feel free to get some juice, keep your tanks topped up, and be ready for whatever contingency might happen.
Question?
Yeah.
These kneeboard pages will be in the kneeboard in-game, correct?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
One more question, please.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, Zeus flight, start taxiing to runway 33.
2. Vermont David, traffic K61, Mirage F1, taxi runway 33, Vermont David. Athena, check in on uniform. Roman David, Tower, Athena 5, Warship F-16, parked, taxi to runway 33. Athena 5, holding short, runway 33. Oh, tower's back for the third time.
Oh, he's back?
Yeah, he's back in the server. You and number 3 is rolling in. Do you want to depart first?
Yeah, we can depart first. Alright, let's line up on the runway. I think we'll depart 2 and 2. So, yeah, I'll take the left-hand side.
2, taking right. 3, taking left. And I guess I'll just take the right again.
David, traffic, Zeus flight lining up on runway 33.
Northwestern departure, Vermont to beat traffic.
Are you guys adopting the Mirage?
Yeah.
Like a brother from another mother. I guess so.
Alright, I will do a no flap takeoff, and I think we'll go for no burner as well. So we have a pretty long runway, so.
No burner. I'll give you some more space in 3.
Alright, let's power up to 80% RPM and hold the brakes, and 3 and 4 you take off 5 seconds after us. 2, power up.
2, ready.
Release on 3, 1, 2, 3, full mail. 1, gear up.
You're Mata with traffic, Athena 5, taking runway
2,
3.
gear up.
Looks like Nails, 3 o'clock. And, oh, Nails, 4 o'clock.
Red Crown, picture update. Guerrilla Group. East leading edge. Bullseye 055, 125.
Friendly 2-ship, drop 270, 86 miles. Angels 28.
Hostile. Guerrilla. Red Crown, Rapal, flight checking in with you.
Alright, we will
Rapal
maintain
flight,
speed
Red Crown,
of
good
Mach
morning.
0.8.
Proceed northeast to Barcap 2 waypoint.
0.8.
Take flight level 27 at Barcap.
Affirmative,
Let's
anchoring
try
in
to
place.
maintain Mach 0.8. See how that goes.
Athena, Red Crown.
Hey, 1, do we have a designated fuel space where we have to get to the tankers?
No, I haven't received any, but I can request it if you want
Rapal
to
flight, Red Crown.
top it off.
Negative. Three sitting at 15,000 pounds. I'm good for 4,000.
Rock copy that. 2, what is your fuel status?
2, 15.8.
15.8 copy, and 1 is 16.9.
Rapal 51, Red Crown.
Let's just enter a right-hand orbit.
2, right hand. One speed check.
Mach 0.78.
Copy, Mach 0.78, match.
Athena pushing Mata.
Zeus 71, Red Crown.
Su 71.
Zeus 71, Red Crown, recommend commit.
Copy. Bulk it up.
Zeus 71, Red Crown, 3 groups, azimuth 30, west group. Stand
Red Crown, Rangoon 2 flight checking in for flight F14 out of Suez.
Zeus
Oh, I'm
71,
showing
Red
Nails,
Crown,
11 o'clock. And a Spike, 11 o'clock. And, oh, a Spike, 12 o'clock.
hot, hostile. Rangoon, Red Crown, copy, stand by.
Friendly, Hornet, 1 o'clock. 3 miles.
Burma flight, Red Crown.
Sus flight fancy.
Go Burma. Burma flight, Red Crown. Bogey 015
Let's level out.
453. Angels 25.
Friendly,
Warship.
Hornet,
Hot
1
hostile
o'clock.
accent.
4
That's
miles.
rolling out. Burma
Go
4-1.
on combat spread. This is 3, best in, go in combat spread.
Good thing.
Red Crown, Rangoon 2-1 checking in for flight F14 out of Ordinance Suez.
Alright, I have something in front of me. We're getting
Rangoon,
jammed.
Red Crown. Radar contact. Flow north.
Okay.
Bogito. Bra 357 for 135.
Rangoon 2-1 comes.
Alright, Sus flight. I think we'll go for the left flight. The one that is right in front of us.
Revolve 5-1, Red Crown.
Engaging off the nose.
Go for Revolve.
Revolve 5-1, recommend commit.
Copy commit. Let's off our nose there at about 100 miles, okay?
Revolve 5-1, Red Crown, 3 groups, azimuth 30, west group, bra 344, 70, 17. Formosa 1-1.
Okay, the closest one is 53 miles. I have
Red Crown, Cyan flight.
track well scan lock on 1.
1-1, Red Crown. Target center group, bra 344.
With the jamming, recommend FPT.
12,000, flight left.
Yeah, I support that. Let's go for STT.
There's a bandit, bra, 010, 87 miles.
Justice tracking target at 70 miles.
You got it.
I'm tracking the target
Got him STT.
at
Target,
45
44
miles. Coming a bit left.
Go for Rangoon 2-1.
Rangoon 2-1. Bogey dope. 8 ship. 353.
Oh, that's a smoker. I'm not sure what it is.
Angels 12. Flow north. Recommend. Buster. We're gonna
It's
need
jamming.
to
I don't
fast.
know the distance.
Rangoon 2-1 copies. Each ship. 353.
Cyan 1-1, Fox 3. Couldn't make flight, Red Crown.
Do you get the distance on the bandits? I don't.
2-1. You can't maintain lock for shit. Flow northeast.
I have a lock on 1, but
Bogey dope.
oh, now I get the distance here.
Target, 27 miles.
27 miles, low. I have a lock on the closest one, I think.
Cyan flight stepped on, retransmit.
I'm diving down to maintain lock.
Jam.
Heads up, nails, 12 o'clock. And a spike, 12 o'clock. And nails, 11 o'clock. And
Zeus,
nails, 1 o'clock.
7-1 Fox 3.
Target, 18 miles.
This is Zeus.
That's a
7-3.
SU-24.
Ray gun.
Cyan 1-1.
Yep, I got him.
5-2, Fox
Target, 8 miles.
Fox 3.
Coming to 1, we got a group at an Angel 1. Is that the group you wanted to engage?
Splash.
Splash. Zeus 7-1, splash 1.
That's a fish bed.
Coming to 1, Rick.
Oh, fish bed, merge.
Nails on our nose, 12 o'clock. Okay, let's do this. And a spike, 12 o'clock. 470.
Track south.
12 o'clock.
Fox 1. Fox 2.
We're at 440.
Merge.
Zeus 7-1, Red Crown.
8 o'clock high. Bogies, sensor. 3 o'clock low. 2 miles. Fish bed, 12 o'clock high. Sensor, 5 o'clock low. There's 410. A missile missed. Fish bed, 12 o'clock. Closing. Speed 320. Sensor, 3 o'clock low. Passing 250. Spike, 7 o'clock. Fish bed, 12 o'clock low. SU-24, 3 o'clock low. And that's 280.
Fox 2.
Sensor, 8 o'clock low. SU-24, 8 o'clock low. Fish bed, 12
Splash
o'clock
one.
high. Fish bed, 7 o'clock. Splash, 200.
That's your target.
Spike, 5 o'clock. Bogies, sensor, 4 o'clock low. 2 miles. Bandit is down. 5 o'clock. 12 o'clock low. 2 o'clock low. Speed 300. 340. 1 o'clock low. 4 o'clock low. Damn it, he launched. 3 o'clock low.
Negative.
Speed 270.
There's additional groups behind that.
Missile launch, 11 o'clock low. Hot, 200 knots. Spike, 1 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Spike, 4 o'clock. Missile launch, 10 o'clock. Hot, 1 o'clock high. 9 o'clock low. Pew pew! Speed 260. Missile launch, 12 o'clock. Hot, 12 o'clock low. 8 o'clock high. Spike, 2 o'clock.
Red Crown,
7 o'clock high. On at 6. Come on, show me that pilot shit. 10 o'clock
Fox
high.
3.
Looking like 290. Spike, 6 o'clock. 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
Damn it.